Hello and welcome to my channel, My Views and News. Views last month, Turkey invaded Syria. Operation Peace Spring it was named. It was the third military intervention by Turkey into Syria since 2011 when Syrian civil war started. How successful from a Turkish point of view is this military intervention? And what is the update about the border situation between Turkey and Syria? And can Turkey manage to hold on to its gains in this conflict? Well, firstly, just a little background to the situation. Turkey is facing a Kurd insurgency in southeast of Turkey since 1980s. More than 40,000 people have been killed so far, and Turkey has designated PKK, a Kurdish political party in Turkey. Turkey has designated it as a terrorist organization. Turkey is home to more than 30 to 40 million Kurds. And Turkey has been blaming Syria and it has been blaming Iraq for harboring terrorists of PKK. When Syrian civil war started in 2011, Syrian Kurds, they remained largely neutral. In Syria, there are around 1 million Kurds, but they were not part of the war. War was being fought between fighters of FSA, Free Syrian Army, and government forces of Bashar al-Assad. But Kurds, Syrian Kurds, who are concentrated in northeast of Syria, they were mostly neutral. They were not part of the war. But when ISIS came on the scene and Americans intervened, these Kurds of Syria, they also became part of the war. Americans armed these Kurds and Americans made them fight ISIS. When Kurds were being armed by Americans, it wasn't being welcomed by Turkey. Turkey wasn't comfortable with the arming of Kurds. But Americans armed them and Kurds fought ISIS. ISIS was defeated. After the defeat of ISIS, these Kurds, the Syrian Kurds, they formed a semi-autonomous government in northeast of Syria. This part of northeast of Syria, it is right across southeast of Turkey, where Turkey is fighting a Kurd insurgency. So Turkey was very, very concerned about this presence of armed Kurds in northeast of Syria. So Turkey proposed creation of a safe zone in this part of Syria, northeast of Syria, 30 kilometer long and more than 300 kilometer, 30 kilometer deep and more than 300 kilometer long area. Turkey wanted to create this area sort of safe zone, and Turkey wanted to settle Syrian refugees in this area. Turkey is home to more than 3 million Syrian refugees. So Turkey wanted to settle those refugees here, and Turkey wanted to push back fighters, Syrian Kurd fighters by the name of SDF from this area. And Turkey wanted to use this area as a sort of barrier between Syria and Turkey. But Americans, European powers, they did not give their consent to Turkey's proposal. So Turkey then decided to intervene unilaterally. And Turkey started this Operation Peace Spring, which I talked about earlier. Now, how successful this operation has been from a military point of view, from Turkish point of view. But definitely Turkey is controlling more than 100 kilometer long strip of land on Syrian side of the border. And in some other parts, it is conducting joint patrols with Russians. Kurdish fighters, SDF fighters, they have been pushed back from this northeastern side of Syrian border. Turkey is using its military. It's using an organization by the name of SNA, Syrian National Army, an umbrella of several outfits. It is being armed by Turkey, and this SNA, fighters of SNA, they are fighting SDF, Syrian Democratic Forces, or Kurdish fighters. Kurdish fighters, they have been largely pushed back from this area, and Turkey is controlling this area right now. But war is not over. Kurdish fighters, though their dreams, they have been dashed to the ground. I mean, they were thinking that they were close to forming a state, a country in the Middle East. which is their long cherished dream. And this dream, it has been a nightmare sort of for them, but they are fighting back. They have started a guerrilla war. Secondly, they have reached an agreement with the forces of Bashar al-Assad, and they have given their consent about the deployment of government forces in this region. So the government forces of Bashar al-Assad, they are being deployed in the vicinity of this area. Kurdish fighters, they have started a guerrilla war. Can Turkey manage to hold on to its gained ground in Syria? And can Turkey manage to settle refugees here? Well, it does not seem to be very probable in the coming days here, because the border here, it's very volatile. War is going on and bombing is going on. So it won't be easy for Turkey to make this area sort of barrier between Turkey and Syria, and it won't be possible to settle refugees here. This area is very important area. I mean, it's a very fertile area. It's very important part of Syrian economy. Oil facilities here, and much of Syria is desert, but not this area. So it's very important area. And Syrian Kurds and Syrian government, they will not leave this area to Turkey. It seems that fighting will carry on here, and Turkey will have to retreat from this area. So let's see what happens. Thank you for watching.